Welcome to Chapter 3, Lesson 2, where we're going to learn how to work with curved lines in Illustrator, and then we will combine our skills of working with curved lines and straight lines from Lesson 1. So the first thing we need to do is go to File, Open. If you're not already there, you need to go to our Handout Drive, Business Handouts, Schonifer, Computer Graphics, Illustrator, Chapter 3, and we are going to open up 3-2. So go ahead and open that file. And then what I want you to do is save it as last name, comma, first name, dash, curved lines. So I won't save it on mine, but you are going to do, once again, last name, comma, first name, and dash curved lines. So go ahead and make sure that you save that on your H drive. So the first thing we need to do is we need to access our pen tool. So clicking on our pen tool or selecting P. And then we're going to make sure we scroll over so that we can see our entire curved line in our image window. So with a curved line, we're going to use a click and drag instead of a click, release, and click on a second anchor point. So what I need you to do is click on your first anchor point and drag it to your purple star and release. And then come over to your second anchor point and you're going to click and drag down to the red. And then we're going to repeat that process of releasing, click and drag to the purple star, release, come to the next anchor point, click and drag to the red star, release. Next one where we click and drag to purple and release, and then click and drag to red and release. So now what we're going to do to deselect is go to our Control key and then select our direct selection tool, and we're just going to deselect that entire line. So now we're going to learn how to edit our curved line a little bit. So I want you to take your direct selection tool and select the second anchor point. And what you'll notice now is that you have a directional handle, which is that line that goes between the red star and then above to the top with that circle anchor point. We're going to click and drag the directional handle of the top direction line to the second purple star. So up here, we're going to click and drag and move it to our second purple star and then release. And you will see how that alters our line. I want you to go ahead and do the same thing with our other anchor points. So going to our next anchor point, clicking, but this time we're going to do the bottom, click and drag to our red, come to our next anchor point, click, come to the top, click and drag to our purple, and then our final anchor point, we're going to click, come to the bottom and drag to our red and release. And that is how we will alter our curved lines. So now we're going to open up a second document and learn how to convert our anchor points. So we're going to go to File, Open, Handouts, Business Handouts, Schonifer, Computer Graphics, Illustrator, and Chapter 3. And we're going to open 3-3. Let's go ahead and click Open. And we're going to use that same view function that we used in our straight line project, but this time we don't have to create the views. So I want you to come to View, and then View 1, and we're going to get our first set of lines to work with. I want you to take your direct selection tool and click anywhere on the black line, doesn't matter where. And what you're going to see is our anchor points, 6 of them, will show up. We want to add additional anchor points, so we're going to come to Object, Path, and then Add Anchor Points. And you'll notice now that at the top of each of our curves, we will see additional anchor points. So now we're going to use a tool called Convert Anchor Points, and is a hidden tool of our pen tool. So we're going to come to our pen tool, hold down, and then do the Anchor Point tool. So our anchor point tool is going to convert smooth points into corner points. So I want us to click on the 6 original the 5 new anchor points. So we're going to just click and click on this bottom one, back up to the top of the curve, bottom of the curve, and top of the curve. And you'll notice that now we have straight points in between those new anchor points. So now we're going to select our 6 original anchor points, which are the ones in between our curves. And we're going to get straight lines in our document now. So no more curved points because we have converted them into straight lines. So now we're going to position our Convert Anchor Point tool over the 6th anchor point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are going to click and drag our anchor point to the purple star, and we can convert it back into a smooth or curved point. And then we are going to do the same thing with our other 3 points. So click, and we're just going to drag it out slightly, and then come to our last one, click, drag it out slightly. And so that's how we can alter between a curved anchor point and a straight anchor point. So now we're going to go to View, and we're going to go to our second view, and we're going to learn how to combine using curved lines and straight lines in one image. So we need to go back to our pen tool, select our pen tool, and just like we did on the last section, and to make a curved point, we click and drag. To make a straight point, we click on one point and then click to the next. So we're doing a curve first, so we will click and drag down to the green star. Go to our second point and click and drag to the purple star. Then to create a straight line, we are going to click on that same second anchor point and then just simply move over and click on our next anchor point. So then we'll do the same thing where we click and drag on our next anchor point down to our purple star and release. And then we'll come back up to that same anchor point, click, and do not drag, just simply click and create that straight line. Click again, drag down to our purple, release, come back over, click on our next point, and click and drag to that purple star. And that is how we create straight lines with curved lines within the same document. So now we're going to learn how to reverse a direction while drawing with curves. So we need to go to our view, go ahead and hit Control, go to your selection tool, and deselect that line. And now we can go to View, go to View 3, then we're going to click on our Pen tool and position it over the first point position and click and drag down to the purple star. So we're going to click and hold and drag, and then we can release. Then we're going to position our pen tool over the second point and click and drag up to the red star. So we're going to click at second point and drag up to our red star. Now what we're going to do before we click anything else is press and hold our Alt key and click and drag our handle down to the purple star. Then we're going to release, come over to our next point, click and drag up to the red star. And then do the same thing. Hold that Alt key, click and drag down to our purple star, release, go to our next point, click and drag to the red star, click and hold Alt, drag down to our purple star, release everything, come over to our next anchor point, click and drag to our red star, release, hold Alt, drag down our handle to our purple star while clicking and dragging, release everything, and finally come to our last anchor point, click and drag up to our red star. So that is how we can change the direction or reverse the direction while drawing. So I want you guys to go ahead and save this as, go to your save as last name, comma, first name. And we are going to save this one as curved lines 2, and this will be the one that you turn in. So go ahead and save that, and then you can close out of your files to prepare for our next lesson.